We are looking at solving this problem. I showed the solutions, and I didn't talk about how to get there. So I'm gonna go through this problem a little bit slower, and we'll go step by step. So to factor these cubic equations, these third-degree polynomials, one method, and the only ones I'll give you, I said this in the video, the only ones I'll give you will work this way. So we're going to factor by grouping. We're going to ignore the second half of this polynomial, and we're just going to look at the first two terms. And we're going to ask what factors do they have in common? What can I factor out of both of these two? I can divide both of the coefficients by 25. So I can take a 25 out of both of those. So I'm factoring out a 25 from both of those. And then with the a's, there's three a's here, a times a times a. There's two a's here, a times a. So I can factor out two a's from this one and two a's from this one. I can't factor three a's out of the second term here because there's only two of them. So two a's is the greatest common factor between them. 25 divided by 25 is 1. A cubed divided by a squared is a. 50 divided by 25 is 2, and a squared divided by a squared is 1. So I'm left with 25a squared and a minus 2 in parentheses. Now I'm going to factor the second half. So negative 4a plus 8, or minus 4a plus 8. They don't have an a in common. They don't have a common factor of a. However, they do have a common factor of 4. I can divide both of these by 4. If I divide out a positive 4, I'm going to be left with a negative a plus 2. And that doesn't quite match with what I have over here. So there is a little bit of thinking that you have to put into this, and that you need the a minus 2 to match in the end. So I'm going to factor out a negative 4. What's going to happen then is negative 4 divided by negative 4 is just going to be 1a. And a positive 8 divided by a negative 4 is going to be a minus 2, or a negative 2 equals 0. Once I've done that, I can try and factor out this a minus 2. I've got two terms here. I'm going to try and factor out this common factor of a minus 2. The other way to think about it is I'm putting the a minus 2's together, and I'm taking what's left over, and I'm grouping those together. And again, that's not really what's going on, but that's how it appears. From there, I can have one solution. A minus 2 could be 0, because I've got a product here that equals 0. So a could be 2, because 2 minus 2 is 0. But the 25a squared minus 4, I can't do anything with that yet. So I'm going to need to factor that further. So I'm going to leave the a minus 2 alone. 25a squared minus 4 is the difference of perfect squares. That's going to come up quite a bit. 25 is the same as 5 squared. A squared is a times a squared. And 4 is the same as 2 squared. So it's a difference, a subtraction of perfect squares. So I can factor that to 5a. I guess it doesn't really matter. I'm going to go with minus 2 and 5a plus 2. I guess when I say it doesn't matter, it doesn't matter if I do plus first or minus first. That doesn't matter. Equals 0. So to solve it then, either 5a minus 2 equals 0 or 5a plus 2 equals 0. I can add 2 to both sides and divide by 5. I'm going to get that a could be 2/5. Or I could subtract 2 from both sides, divide by 5. We get that a equals negative 2/5. And that's where we get those three different results for this trinomial, or excuse me, for this cubic.